folks. Oh, man. Don't let it deceive you. We're back. Already having technical issues. The Joe Monroe Show itself is back. And you know what? I couldn't leave CZ behind at the round table. I had to bring him with me. Ladies and gentlemen, the official new co-host of the Joe Monroe Show, the Wizard CZ. CZ, how are you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing real good. I feel excited. This is gonna be fun.
Yes, it is. We got a lot of stuff. God, I hate to say it, but I'm looking at my notes here. Well, as people seen possibly on the TikTok page and the Facebook page, Mark's back. He's going to be doing the wrestling news for us. I know usually on the show we have a cold open before everything, but to be completely honest with you, we were way too excited. We did not want to do a cold open tonight. We just want to go ahead and get straight into it, have some fun, talk about professional wrestling as always. So what am I blabbing about? Let's go ahead and let's get it started. First thing I want to pull up, or bring up, I should say, is Maven apologizes to RVD this week.
That's pretty crazy.
Yes, and catch people up to speed. I think it was a couple of months ago. Raven shit. I get Raven and Maven mix up all the time. I don't know why, but Maven said something on a podcast about having a smelly wrestler, like the smelliest wrestler, and he brought up RVD. Apparently, he misunderstood the question. It upsetted Katie and RVD both, so he went to apologize to him. But I thought that was kind of cool. That just shows you what type of person Maven is.
Yes.
Oh, and I know you haven't watched it yet, but what was your thoughts after we was talking about it off camera before the show started?
I mean, that's a very classy move. Very good, especially since he misunderstood what was going on. I think it was the right move, and I think it's good. I hope it was received well. I haven't seen it yet, like you said, though.
Well, it was definitely received well. I'll go ahead and spoiler alert here. He went to Rob's house, and Van Dam was, of course, lighting himself up a doobie, sitting there working, and he asked Maven to partake, and Maven partake. And
Well,
that left me with kind of like an epiphany, like, if there was any wrestler that I would partake with, it'd have to be RVD.
Oh, 100%.
Some of the viewership of the people watching may differ. They may be against cannabis. Me, I'm pro cannabis. I think hey, it's natural herb. Go for it, man. But if it's anybody, come on, RVD. That's a hands down no brainer. But yeah, good on Maven. I wanted to get that out the way. That's the most recent thing I watched. But you wanted to talk about something. So CZ, what did you want to talk about?
Well, I want to get your opinion. I want to hear your thoughts first, and then I'll kind of go into mine. And I don't want to get overly political. I don't like getting political on any of the shows that I'm on. I'm not political, but I keep up with things going on. And I was very shocked that WWE decided to continue with the Saudi show and didn't move it or reschedule it with all that's been going on in the Middle East.
I'll get your thought. What's your? You want my thoughts first?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my thinking on that. I mean, obviously, they're probably have it in a contract. They probably already spent millions on this because it's going to cost millions alone to get all that stuff overseas. Personally, I thought about this all week, especially with the ongoing situation with Israel and Iran and all that over in the Middle East. And I pray for everybody that's dealing with that personally over there. But, if anybody's going to have a backup plan and protect everyone, I mean, the Prince of Saudi Arabia is a huge wrestling fan for a reason. Yeah. It really wouldn't surprise me if he hired the best of the best to protect these guys. So I'm kind of 50-50 on it. Like, it is a risk, and I wouldn't want to risk my talent. But then again, you kind of have to look at it from a business side and how people, who's helping you run this show, who invited you and paid you to do this show. Like, okay, well, you paid me. I expect protection just in case something goes down. And knowing how rich the Prince is, I know they're going to be very well protected. So it's 50-50 for me. I can see why they would want to out, but then again, I can see why they can't or won't pull out, or why they're not afraid to pull out. If that makes sense.
Oh, I'm 100% with you, and I'm right there. I mean, what really when it really hit home for me, first of all, Monday, the production staff being stuck at the Qatar airport for God knows how long, but they played it off the first hour of Monday Night Raw. They were hyping the matches, but without mention of Saudi.
Right.
And then right at 8:00, something changed where it's like, oh yeah, we're still in Saudi. And I get it. It's a financial thing. The money aspect alone, I get it. And hopefully they are well protected. I'm sure they are, but I don't know that I would go. I think I would say no. And Nick and I kind of speculated. I don't know if you noticed this, but they pulled the Intercontinental Championship match.
I noticed that.
I wonder, I don't think that was an AJ Styles move. I think it was Dominic Mysterio saying that he doesn't want to go.
And I don't blame him. I mean, he's just a kid. He's like, I don't want to go over. You guys are crazy. But some say he's injured too.
What's that?
Some say he's injured as well.
Yeah. I know they played that up on Raw, which best line of the night was AJ Styles. What did you do? Sprain his mustache?
Oh, Lord.
And maybe he is injured, but I kind of get the feeling that it was, if he is injured, it was not so much the injury, but the desire to not go overseas into the Middle East.
Right.
That's just my personal opinion there.
But, I have to agree with you. It's a double-edged sword with situations like this, especially when real-world conflict does come into effect. That happens, with anything, not only wrestling shows, but any event. I mean, the Olympics, heck, that's happened to it a few times. Most notably, Germany during the occupation of Nazis, them. So, but they still had the Olympics. I know that's a bad comparison, but I'm just saying it's not the first time that an event has been hindered by what's happening in the real world.
Right.
But if anybody's going to protect him, it's definitely the Crown Prince, because he's probably one of those guys like, no, they're not touching these guys at all. But yeah, that's my 2 cents in it. Another thing I want to bring up, I don't want to talk about Saudi too much. Something happened in WWE 2K. We actually got that. We got Crown Jewel, believe it or not. It's not Night of Champions, but we got the Crown Jewel arena. And believe it or not, God, I can't believe I'm going to segue into this already. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome back my brother, Mark Monroe, who is actually going to be doing some wrestling news for us. So let's head on over to the Joe Monroe's news studio for Mark. Go ahead and take it away.
It's time for the wrestling news with none other than me, Mark Monroe. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the wrestling news. I am your host, none other than the markiest Mark in the business, Mark Monroe. I got a job. So let's get down to it. This week at WWE 2K, we got the Dunk and Destruction DLC pack. With the bitch. Man, that's freaking sweet. I love it. And also, more news on the way. Don't forget, July the 12th, at the Center for World Development in Somerset, Kentucky, there is the Triple Crown Wrestling and the Commonwealth Professional Wrestling Legacy Hall of Fame ceremony. See, I did it right. Go in. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that ceremony's gonna be freaking amazing. There's actually gonna be a red carpet event by Party Man Cam. He took my job, Joe. I'm sorry. Composure. Anywho, this is gonna be a serious event, and we cannot wait. I'm actually gonna be there. It's gonna be awesome. And more wrestling news. That's actually all I got. I'm sorry, folks, but take care. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. This has been the wrestling news with none other than me, Mark Monroe. See you next time.
Why?
Now, come on. He didn't do a bad job there.
He didn't do a bad job, but why did he have to hiss?
That's fair. Yeah,
I mean, come on. Don't worry.
He was wearing a Stone Cold hat though, so maybe that's where the Stone Cold being the rattlesnake. Maybe that's where the hissing came from.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe he's a furry. I don't know. But as people can see, yes, Mark finally got rid of his wig, and people can see between us now. I'm still the better looking one, I may add. But yeah, Mark Monroe's back. Thank you, Mark, for that. That was great wrestling news. Even Alex Eldridge is going, what the heck? Yes, yes, Alex, I know, buddy. I know. God, nah. We got to give him a job. He finally got out of the closet after staying in there since Cena turned heel. Anyways, but he did talk about the Duncan Instruction Pack. I want to talk about that for just a moment. A lot of people wanted to crap on it when it first was announced. Even I myself wanted to crap on it. But the more we looked into it, the more, the release and everything, it's like, okay, all right, well, Shaq's in it. There's a couple of others I'm not too familiar with. Shaq was definitely a big one. I mean, Shaq's been around wrestling forever.
Yes.
But wasn't he there for the Flair and Hogan match in WCW?
Oh, I believe so. I'd have to go back and look. I'm not that far in my WCW rewatch though. So
we're not butt ugly. Anyways, yeah, like he's been associated with wrestling for a long time, so that he makes perfect sense.
Yes.
The others, I think, make a little bit sense. I guess they're just big wrestling fans. I would love to see Post Malone personally. Not Post Malone. You guys know who I'm talking about. The Postman, Post Malone. Not the singer. The singer was already in it, which his DLC wasn't too shabby either. But the Postman, Malone, the guy that was in the tag team match with DDP. There you go. That should narrow it down. Or heck, Rodman would have been great too.
I would love to see Rodman in the game. That'd be awesome.
See a Rodzilla shirt with NWO. Yeah, that would have been cool. Which I'm pretty sure there's a community creation out there and we're just missing it.
We'll have to look.
We got one taking it. Now that I'm thinking about it, I will have to look.
What do you think though? Excuse me. What do you think about the inclusion of Abyss?
Now, Abyss, I have to agree with Mark. It's freaking sweet. It's one of those. I think they're slow. I don't know why they just didn't do a TNA Legends pack, because the previous pack we got the Motor City Machine Guns. Mind you, they're signed to WWE, but they're TNA Legends. We got Abyss. You can actually include Penta in that because he's a former, I'm sorry to say this, Impact champion, which is TNA, still the same company. Rumor has it they're going to include Phoenix. We'll get into that in just a moment. But Abyss, I have not stopped playing as Abyss. And we had that picture. That was actually an in-game picture from when we played. And him holding Janice, which the inclusion of Janice, too, that one kind of threw me off. I wasn't expecting that. I was like, oh okay. You're kind of making it up for us.
Yeah.
Have you been able to play as Abyss yet? The character?
Not yet. My focus has been elsewhere whenever I've hopped on the PlayStation. I hate to say it, but I plan on hopping on at least for a little bit over the weekend and get some Abyss time in. And like you said, the inclusion of Janice. Wow, that's big.
Yeah, it is big, but with everything that's they want to include in it, I'm still waiting on the first celebrity character of the first DLC pack.
I saw something about that the other day where people were speculating that instead of having a celebrity, because whatever fell through it, I mean, obviously it was supposed to be Travis Scott. That's what the big rumor is.
Right.
But I read somewhere that it might be Aleister Black, since whatever happened with Travis Scott has fallen through.
Yes, that has been the big rumor because there's been a lot of people. What's the status? The guy who's been very trustworthy with going into the game files, who they tried to ban, but it didn't work too well in WWE. He went in and started Aleister Black, which I would not be mad at all.
No.
I think they finally realized, like, you know, okay, some of these celebrities are okay, but we don't need to have nonsense in DLC. Which after July, it's a straight up wrestling DLC. Because then after the next, which I guess the one in July is one as well. No, there's supposed to be another celebrity guest in that one too, right?
I believe so. I don't know if they've revealed it yet, but I think there's another celebrity coming in that one.
So after that one, it's just the Attitude Era and the Saturday Night's Main Event pack, which I'm excited for both.
I am too.
Because the Attitude Era includes Road Dogg, Road Dogg, Jesse James, same person, Billy Gunn, D'Lo Brown, Mark Henry, and Victoria. So
I'm so excited for the New Age Outlaws to be in this game. One of my all-time favorite tag teams. Maybe not on my Mount Rushmore, but definitely up there.
Well, we mentioned TNA earlier. I mean, there's a few more TNA guys. I know you guys before, but they kind of helped push TNA there for a little bit, especially Road Dogg, because he was part of 3 Live. Which, dang it, if we had Conan in this game, we could have had. There's somebody that I wish they would put in the game. Conan.
Yeah.
That right there. Put him. Just next update. Just randomly put Conan in there. Don't even tell anybody till that day commercial, and just call it a day.
I'd be all right with that.
I would love to have that. But I think I think they kind of realized they messed up on the DLCs in a way. Because that first one, you know, we're missing one. They gave us VC, which, I mean, God, you can spend just one time. So there you go. Wow, you gave us a free card pack. Thanks. We appreciate that. Yay. But this one, a lot of people were like, I still don't like it. I'm like, I love this pack. Because we're actually looking over someone. I know Abyss kind of overshadowed him, but Great Khali, I know he's not really wrestling fans' favorite wrestler because, I mean, he's just a big guy. But for one, they gave him his good music, not the Pajama Playboy music. Even though I hate to admit it, I rocked out to that theme as well. But they gave him his very first theme song. His character art amazing, and his moveset and playing as him in the game is actually kind of cool. It's not as clunky as I thought it was.
And I've heard that his signatures and finishers are just epic. They're very well done.
They're very, very well done. They actually, I'll give 2K credit on that one. They paid attention to detail, not only to Abyss, but also to the Great Khali as well. I mean, heck, I'm about to make a 2010s universe and put the World Heavyweight title on the Great Khali just because of that.
Can I have a hot take here?
Go ahead.
And I may get some heat for this. I would love to see them put a Punjabi prison match in the game. I mean, it's a ridiculous match, but can you imagine playing it
in there too? So
I think it'd be a lot of fun to play. I mean, they were train wrecks of matches to watch, but I think it'd be a lot of fun to play.
It would be. Could you? I'm just thinking of the glitches that would happen. Oh, look at
God.
But yeah, I actually think kind of the same thing when I was like, random thought when I was like, oh, we don't have the prison match here. Okay, that'd be cool.
That would be. I'd mark out for that. I'd geek out. I'd be so. Yeah, we're playing that every day.
Well, let's talk about like the roster itself has not disappointed at all in 2K. I know we're talking a lot about 2K, but hey, I'm a gamer. I love it. And plus, it's a big week for the 2K community. They've been updating just about every 2 weeks, trying to fix bugs, which for 2K is phenomenal.
Yes.
The DLCs, we had one that was an okay. This one, I will give it a 2 thumbs up. I love it. It was great. And I think it's only going to get better. If they keep throwing updates with the updates, keep throwing like extra content, like how they updated put the Crown Jewel Arena in one update. And the previous update before, maybe it was the pet or maybe a couple before, they added Saturday night's main event. Also added something else, but you have to have the WrestleMania 41 pack. We'll go ahead and talk about that. They had the night and day arena for WrestleMania 41. Which I had a little bit of an issue with. They tried saying I didn't purchase the Bloodline edition. I'm like, luckily I keep receipts, and I showed 2K, hey man, it's right here. They went, oh, our bad. Within like 2 minutes, it was ready to go.
Awesome.
But we only just got the 41. We're supposed to get either one or two Persona cards with it, which I'm thinking it's probably just going to be a John Cena Persona card. But one I am hoping for, El Grande Americano.
That would be fantastic.
And it would make sense, too. Another one that's been rumored is Rey Fenix. Because we're supposed to get Penta next month, too, in the next DLC. So that would be kind of fun as well. I don't know. Have you seen the new rumored Persona card from a legend?
I haven't heard.
They're actually going to be, this is from What's the Stats. They're implementing Triple H 99, which was the time with chain linked vet. And I'm like, okay, that's the one. And if the character work on it looks just as good as what the Stats has uploaded, which, it's 2K, they never do. But if it's anything close to it, I would be 100% happy with it because it actually looks like Triple H. The hair does not look goofy, unlike the 2008 version, 2009 version, whatever we have in the game right now. And plus, we're going to get the My Time thing.
Nice, very cool.
But yeah, as long as my only complaint, and this is everybody's complaint. For God's sakes, they made it a little bit easier with some Persona cards with the World Tour. But I would like for it to be a little bit more easier instead of having to buy virtual coins to get a Persona card.
Yeah, everything now is so financially driven with these microtransactions. I'm not a fan of it, but if they're making things I played a little bit of the World Tour mode, and I think it's fantastic.
It is.
It's a great addition to the game. If they make the Persona cards that much easier, awesome. Bring it on. I remember having to struggle and work my butt off to get the Slim Jim Macho Man Persona card. That was ridiculously hard.
I'm surprised they didn't put that back. But I think I agree with you. If they made it to like towers, kind of like how the World Tour is, like a towers mode, and all Persona cards are like behind that wall.
Yeah,
I think my faction would be a lot better. The live events, if they would just be, you got to have kind of like what they have right now, and that's what you have to pay the virtual currency for. I think that would be amazing, and that would be a little bit more understandable than, hey, you need a Persona card, you got to buy the packs. Oops, you didn't get it. Well, buy another pack.
Yeah, that's it's all about money when it comes down to it.
Yeah. Here, you want my best advice for people who play that? Save your VC. Just wait till the card market opens and buy it on the card market. There you go.
Yeah.
But let's scurry away from 2K for a little
Before
bit.
we do,
okay,
I want to tell you something that I'm hopeful for.
Okay, what's that?
So a couple months ago, maybe within the last month or two, I'll say, I read an article where EA, and obviously this is not 2K, but right. EA is incorporating Spotify, and I believe it was a soccer game.
Yes.
Can we get 2K to incorporate Spotify so we can have custom entrance music for our created characters?
Well, here's the thing. I cannot remember the basketball player's name, but he comes out to specifically, and it's locked just for him for music rights, which he may have just paid himself. A 50 Cent song called Mini Men.
Okay.
And it's locked specifically to him. It's exclusive content. Now, if we could have music specifically for like Spotify and be able to lock it like that to only one per wrestler, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Which leads me to the question. We're getting New Jack next month. For
Ooh,
God's sakes, can we please get Natural Born Killers by Dr. Dre and Ice Cube as the entrance theme?
I hope so.
Please. I mean, no offense. The dub version is kind of cool, but it's not New Jack cool.
Right.
And we'll talk more about that next month whenever we get it, because that's another one I'm excited for. Someone else who was in TNA in the very early years, not many people know that. He actually tagged with Shark Boy. There's another person they missed. We need Shark Boy in the freaking game.
That'd be cool.
I know there's a community creation of him at the Wazoo, but, an official Shark Boy, playable character versus Stone Cold. Come on. That's not a dream match in the making.
Is Robert Roode still in the game as a playable character?
No, I looked the other day. Yesterday, he is not.
That's disappointing, because I would love to have James Storm in the game and team those two together.
Right. Honestly, I think they should just, since they're signed with, kind of got like this TNA thing going on, make a TNA Legends pack.
Yeah.
Here's who I would have. Since we already got Abyss, put him in the game next year. I would have America's Most Wanted, Gail Kim. If they can come to an agreement and he gets out of actually retires from AEW, Jeff Jarrett, the Alpha Male Monty Brown.
Ooh.
Those would be the 5.
Okay.
Those would be the 5 I would have as a TNA Legends pack.
That would be great. I can't argue with any of those.
Yeah, because those were the embodiment of TNA. And I would actually include... I was fighting. I was like, if I was coming out with this, what would I include as the arena? Would I include the very first arena that TNA had with NWA? Or would I include the Impact Zone? I'm sorry. When I first watched TNA, Impact Zone.
Yeah. I wonder how hard it would be to incorporate a 6-sided ring in the game.
I was thinking that too. I don't know if they would do that, but AJ Styles, whenever they had a table for 3 a few years ago, it was Sting, Jeff Jarrett, and AJ Styles. AJ Styles is like, I think that's what made us unique. And it was. Honestly, from a fan's perspective, let's go, because I want to talk about TNA a little bit since we had Abyss come in. And
yeah,
I think the TNA hype has gone up a little bit more, especially to the younger audience who didn't experience it live. I think that's what made TNA stand out a little bit more back in the day. I'm sure they started with the 4-sided ring the first few years. Then they had the 6-sided ring. Personally, I love the 6-sided ring. It made it look. It made you feel like, hey, this is a wrestling company, but this feels a lot different.
Yes, I know I've heard horror stories from wrestlers who wrestled in the 6-sided ring about how hard it is.
It's soft.
But no, it was unique. It gave TNA its own identity. I would love to see that come into play.
I mean, for crying out loud, we had matches like the Ultimate X match as well.
Yes.
The Ultimate X Cup. That was something that was kind of cool. I think what I hate to see, I think we were fortunate enough to see not only the Cruiserweight division in WCW, but we were also fortunate enough to see the X division in TNA. 2 different divisions that we can see actually done right. I know WWE tried the 205 Live and it didn't really work out that well, but TNA and dare I say WCW made it feel a little bit different. And kind of like how Japan does the Juniors Cup. Yes,
absolutely. You mentioned TNA match types. Can we get a King of the Mountain match?
Dummy me. It's been so long since I watched one. I watched one the other night. It had it was the first X Division. Good segue, by the way. You didn't do that on purpose. But it's the first X Division King of the Mountain where it had Motor City Machine Guns, Black Machismo, Jay Lethal. Love that character.
Yeah.
Consequences Creed, who WWE fans will know as Xavier Woods, and Suicide from the TNA video game, which the TNA video game, even though it was actually a decent little game. I liked it.
I enjoyed it.
I hated the entrances though. But that being said, I rewatched it and I was like, okay, so if you get pinned, you go into the penalty box, and whoever pins you has the chance to get the title. Okay, that makes sense. I thought it was more overly complicated than that. I know they changed rules a little bit. I think at first they had it hanging up in the rafters, and you had to bring it back down. Then you had to take it up. And I'm like, Jesus, it's WCW all over again. Then they're like, you know what? We're just going to have the title with a special belt keeper, and you got to take the title up there, and you're king of the mountain. That right there made a lot more sense than climbing the ladder, getting the title, taking it down, bringing it back up, and getting the title. And putting the title back, and you win. For
sure. No, when it got to that point where you had to pin somebody to be eligible to put the title up above, but just the concept of a reverse ladder match is just all around cool.
Yeah, it is. It's different, and that's like you said. It's another thing. The 6-sided steel cage.
Yes,
that's something that was different too. Dear God, AMW, America's Most Wanted, Elix Skipper doing a Hurricanrana off the top.
You read my mind.
Jeez Louise!
Man!
Oh my God! And that's the beauty of when TNA first started out. The 5 to 6 years, you had people that were on major television before, like Elix Skipper and AJ Styles, but they never got the opportunity. Well, Christopher Daniels, there's another one. Then you had people like Samoa Joe started coming in,
Yep.
indie scene. R-Truth, who was K-Quick at the time. These guys were kind of like the underdogs that people were like, okay, he can wrestle, but they're not doing anything with him.
And for those who didn't watch TNA back in the old days, R-Truth, Ron Killings is a former 2-time NWA champion.
Exactly. Not many people know that. Let's see. Great to have you back on Friday night. What's up, Nick? By the way, Nick, I'm sorry. Astronaut pants or shorts, whatever.
Diapers. Astronaut diapers.
My bad. But yeah, I mean, it felt different. Sure, we had people who we've seen on television before, but they were actually implemented in a different way. Yes. I mean, for crying out loud, the NWA champion to start off TNA was Ken Shamrock. And who did Ron Killings beat to get his first title? Ken Shamrock.
Yes.
That's nothing to sneeze at.
Not at all.
No, and he should be proud of it. That's why I think he should get a heavyweight title shot, now. But hey, that's just me.
I kind of wish, and this probably isn't going to happen. It would be a dream if WWE would buy the video rights for TNA and put it on Peacock. I mean, right now I have Impact Plus, so I can go back and watch it whenever.
How much? $10 a month.
Yeah. But it's not as clean as Peacock. I don't think it's not as user friendly.
By the way, I want to point out Mr. Bull's picture here. That's a match I want to see. I want to see Never Wrong Nick Bull versus Walter for the heavyweight title. Sorry, Nick. But yeah, I mean, I would love to see that too. But I think people can kind of look back and look at TNA's how TNA implemented that, like bringing in these people that were on TV, that were somewhat known, and implement them correctly. I feel like not immediately give them a title run. I mean, they did that for a few people, but
right.
But they slowly. Ron Killings is another. But I mean, I think his first rivalry was with football players, or NASCAR. It was NASCAR drivers. That's right.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of remember that.
And he went on for the heavyweight title after that. Then, of course, the 3 Live Crew stuff and all that. But I think that's where kind of, I hate saying it, WWE's kind of guilty of it too. Bringing in these people who are hot, and let's see. I'll pass.
He just doesn't want to get power bombed
or chopped. I mean,
or chopped, especially chopped.
But But back to the steak and not the sizzle. We sorry, CZ, but we dang it, Buff Bagwell. But we
if you want to know the story, go watch Card Subject to Change, the Sandra Lee Memorial Card Show 4th annual. It is on YouTube at CSTC Podcast. Sorry, cheap plug.
No, it's okay. Actually, let me go ahead and throw up that logo. That way people can find it. It's this logo right here, Card Subject to Change.
Like, share, subscribe.
Please. But I've lost my train of thought. What the hell were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about TNA and the greatness that was.
And I hate saying it, but I got to agree with people. What killed it was Hogan and Bischoff, which leads me to my next segue. There has been an update on ticket sales. I think it's a 30,000 seat arena, or maybe it's a 13. I can't remember. It's over 10,000 seat arena. They sold only 396 tickets.
I am proud to say that I was not one of those.
Me too.
I mean, we don't need to go on a Hogan tirade. I drank the Kool-Aid. I took the vitamins. I said the prayers back in the 80s, but
didn't work for you, brother.
Yeah. Sorry, Hogan. You're not going to work for me, brother.
You know, I hate saying this. He's got the Hogan's Beach shop is opening in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. I kind of want to go see it because there's more than Hulk Hogan stuff on there. And oh my Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. But
Nick pulled the steak to the scissors to my steak. That makes absolutely no sense unless you watch the episode.
Yeah, you got to watch it. But parts of but I want to go down there and see a Hogan's Beach shop because apparently they got a ring in the middle of the shop, and there seems to be a lot of cool stuff there, not Hogan related. So I'll give it a chance. We'll look at it. But yeah, well, what are you thinking about this this Hulk Hogan Bischoff thing? You know, it's what, a few months away, I think, right?
Something like that, yeah. I'm on the fence. I mean, I don't want to support.
Why, hello there. Why, yes, it is I, Rob Kammer of the Confusion Wrestling Podcast, once again proving to you why I am a superior wizard to that of CZ. For crying out loud, we're in a refrigerator right now. Well, at least you are. But, in the meanwhile, if you needed further proof as to why I'm superior to CZ, you only need to see the company that he keeps. I have it on good authority that he is BFFs with the one called Manders, a man whose menace is known far and wide, going so far to even take an Iowa championship to New Jersey. New Jersey, of all places. Whereas I hang out with such wholesome people such as, well, my wife, Dawn. And let's not forget that I am an auxiliary member of The Chosen. Just throwing it out there. But, you know, gonna keep this quick. Don't want to take too much more of your time. Because really, just want to throw that out there and get some cheese. Cool.
Are we back? Are we back? Okay, we're back.
What the hell?
I don't know. Blame Mark. He's in charge of the signal.
What the hell? Okay, first of all, Manders is a prestigious champion holding the WXW title. That is a very prestigious championship, and he is making it a world championship in the truest sense of the form. And he will be here in the Quad Cities. I can't wait to see him again in a couple weeks. Secondly, why were we in a refrigerator? I mean, okay, Rob said he wanted to get some cheese. Well, he is the cheesiest of cheesy, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Listen, I'm sorry. You both of y'all are my friends. I know for at least a year and a half. You guys got to get along, man. I don't know what this wizard duel is. I mean, I just asked him to come on because he wasn't feeling good one week, and apparently it went to his head. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'll forgive you for now.
I agree, Nick. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Yeah, I gotta agree with you. But I apologize to the viewers. You know, that's just we were interrupted. That I'm gonna have to have a talk with him. But anyways, you were saying about Hogan before we got interrupted by the Hulk Hogan casting.
I don't want to support anything that he does if I can avoid it. But the concept of what him and Bischoff are doing, I'll admit it's a little intriguing. Mm-hmm. It's freestyle wrestling with a WWE type of feel. I'm willing to give it a chance, but I don't know if it's something that I'm going to tune into religiously just because I don't want to support Hulk Hogan.
I mean, I can't blame you there. As Nick would just said, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. And again, I'm not saying that my other friend who thinks he's a wizard is the Hulk Hogan. I took that so wrong. I'm sorry, buddy. But he probably is the CZ.
Oh my!
You guys have to get along, man.
That I'll do my best.
He is the unspoken member of the Joe Monroe Show family. You got to get along with him.
Fair enough, but if he gets out of line again, Manders is coming for him.
Well, that you know,
warm up that lariat arm.
It's not a clothesline.
No, it's a lariat.
There's another argument. Why? What's up with the argument? I mean, originally it was called a lariat, but people call it a clothesline. Why do you think that's an argument?
So I've always looked at it as there being like a subtle difference between the two. Honestly, that's a great point. I don't know if I can quantify that, but I mean, let's look at JBL. He had the clothesline from hell, but I would call that a lariat with how hard it hits.
Yeah.
I think clotheslines aren't as stiff as a lariat is how I look at it.
Fair enough. Well, there you go. CZ with all of his wizardness has debunked that, so let's move on. But yeah, man, like a lot of stuff happening in professional wrestling. We're about 15 minutes in, so we have to get off the air here. I want to talk about something very important. That's actually going to be something in my area. I want to talk about, and my idiot brother mentioned it earlier, the very first in the inaugural Commonwealth Professional Wrestling Legacy Hall of Fame, with the stars of Triple Crown Wrestling and coming out. This is where the past meets the present. July 12th at the Center for Rural Development. Tickets are available on the website, not website, but the Facebook page. You all can go get your tickets there. If you don't want to pre-order, they will be available at the gate. But a lot of people want to get the misconception, like, is this a wrestling show? Is this a Hall of Fame show? Well, it's kind of both. We're going to be having the Hall of Fame, and in between, kind of like a break between it, we're going to have like first tier and second tier. In between that, we're going to have matches. That's just something I thought would be pretty cool. Thanks to our partners, Triple Crown Wrestling. If you haven't checked them out, go check out Triple Crown Wrestling. They are very awesome. One of the best professional wrestling promotions in the state of Kentucky. So definitely go check them out. But it's very important, and I think a lot of people. I personally want to thank you all because this is something that I dreamed about doing, and everybody has to support it. I am happy to say that Cards Subject to Change is now a sponsor of it. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing.
Absolutely.
That also, Till 5 Wrestling is a sponsor. Yep, believe it or not, ATB got muscled by Just Tan Credible. Has 100% believed in this, and so has ATB. So thank you both for that. Special shout out to GWR, Gonzo Wrestling Room. They are also a sponsor for it. And of course, the Wrestling Society Network is also a sponsor for this. So go check them out, y'all. They're amazing. They're great. I appreciate the podcasting community coming out, supporting this decision. And I want to go over this list of the Hall of Famers First and foremost, someone we're definitely familiar with, CZ, is the one, the only Professor Bear.
Yes.
So Bear, the reason we're having Bear in the Hall of Fame, I see it like this. From a wrestler standpoint, and someone been in the business, wrestlers, yeah, they get in the ring, put their lives on the line, bodies on the line. 100% most important part of the show. But I also think the people who work in the background, those who work production, those who work, excuse me, those who put up the ring, take down the ring, those who help promote, like podcasting, radio host. Bear has done this for years, and he was 100% no brainer choice. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get a little bit of spoiler alert. He's actually going to be kicking off the Hall of Fame.
All right.
So we couldn't think of anybody else. I do have to say someone who's not going to make it, unfortunately, and that's James Kendrick. Someone me and you both are familiar with as well. He has a prior engagement, but he is still getting his Hall of Fame plaque, and he said he will make a video thanking us for that. Someone else I want to point out, Jonathan Barnes, on the show that we interviewed, CZ. He's a great referee. Referees 100% deserve recognition just as well as the professional wrestlers do. And he's worked his tail off for years as well, and I think he deserves it. And so does the board. Now, someone that is legendary, I don't know. I wish I can get him on an interview. I want to let you all, we're going to talk about Woody and Aries. Iron Man Mike Woody, hell of a wrestler with Aries always by his side. But after he stopped becoming a professional wrestler, guess what he did? He was a mask maker. He made masks for Garris, Rey Mysterio Jr.
Ooh.
A lot of people, man. If you want a top quality mask, Mike Woody was one of those guys you went to. So not only in ring, but out of the ring as well. Both of them 100% deserve it for the contributions to the sport of professional wrestling. And that's going to be the first tier. It's going to be Bear, Jonathan Barnes, and Mike Woody and Aries. They're going to be going in together. Now the second tier going in is going to start off with none other than the Lone Wolf Bobby Blade. Dear Lord, what can we say about the Lone Wolf Bobby Blade? Bobby is one of those guys that's not afraid to tell you how it is. He's going to do things his way, and he's an all-around great guy. And again, he's another one of those folks that were this, and when it came time for him to kind of slow down his in-ring competition, he found other ways to stay in and contribute as a commentator, as a manager. That's something, contributions, great examples. Him and Mike Woody are great examples of, when wrestling is over with, what else can I do? Because wrestling, look at me, I only did it for 5 years, but you don't know how long you have in competition. So you got to think of what's next. What's the next step? What can I do after my in-ring career is over with? How can I still help the sport of professional wrestling? And those two are the best examples that I can think of. And this, man, dear God, I mean, I love picking up Terry England. He is the promoter for Ultimate Championship Wrestling, a great professional wrestler, but he's probably better well known as a great promoter with Ultimate Championship Wrestling, the longest independent wrestling promotion in the state of Kentucky. Been running since 1997. So you do the math there, CZ. Almost 30 years.
Yeah.
Almost 30 years here in the state. And that's nothing to sneeze at all. That's a great achievement. And someone that, okay, I know what people's probably going to think. You were muscling into this. No, I wasn't. I actually talked to Vic the Bruiser. Vic the Bruiser is a legendary wrestler. He traveled up and down the roads. He wrestled in different territories back in the day. Wrestled for WWF for a little bit. And I asked him, who do you think should headline it? And I named this man right here, Hitman Louie. And he said, without a shadow of a doubt, you'll be stupid to not have Hitman Louie to headline your very first Hall of Fame. So, Hitman Louie, 100%, brother, you deserve this. I know you're like, well, you do. one of the dog catchers. He is a former USWA tag team champion at one half of the dog catchers. And that, again, that's nothing to sneeze at either. That's a legendary promotion down in Memphis. He also in different promotions and different territories. I can go on and on about these guys, but I just want to give a great plug because I know next week we're not going to be here Friday, but we're going to be on Thursday, and we'll talk more about it. But the next Friday after that, we might be able to work some of these people into the show and have them on and give them an interview. Because, I mean, it's coming up. Tomorrow makes 2 weeks till this Hall of Fame is out, man. And I'm pretty nervous, not going to lie, but I'm also pretty excited. I know it's going to be a great time. We're all going to have a great time. CZ and all you were trying to get there, but we will. You'll definitely be there in spirit.
Absolutely, 100%.
And you guys have contributed, and I thank you for that. We just had to plug that Hall of Fame there. I'm sorry. And I would love, if you can, go ahead. If you want pre-ordered and not stand in line, there's 45 seats available front row. So if y'all don't want to wait in line and be like, well, I'm sorry, there's no front row seats available, it's best to probably go ahead and get your tickets right now on the Facebook page at the Commonwealth Professional Wrestling Legacy Hall of Fame. You can probably find it on the Professional Wrestling Legacy Hall of Fame. We tried changing the name. Facebook wouldn't let us, so we had to improvise a little bit. But yeah, that's the importance of a Hall of Fame there, is to recognize people who don't really get enough love and recognition for what they have contributed to the sport.
And well deserved. That's something that I think a lot of all those people are well deserved, and I love that you're giving recognition to not just wrestlers but people who are wrestling adjacent.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I've seen your face when I talked about Mike Woody and a couple of others. You're like, wow, they did that.
Oh yeah,
that's the exact reaction I want from folks when they go up there and tell their story.
For sure.
But you know what, CZ? This has been a pretty fun episode, aside from, a fake wizard interrupting us. I mean, I can't really say he's a fake wizard. He interrupted our show, so.
From a refrigerator.
I mean, it's not been done before in a refrigerator, so.
I mean, whatever floats your boat, Rob.
I can't help but love Rob. I don't know. You two, we need to just have an episode with you two and just have wizardential debate or something. I don't know. Hey, that could be a good episode. But man, there's a lot's going on. You got anything going on up in your area, independent wise?
So we've got a few things coming up. Like I said, Manders is going to be here for SCW Pro. That is on the same day as the Hall of Fame. That's not the reason why I'm not coming down, but bonus, I get to see Manders just since I can't make it down there, and I love that guy to death. Coming up in September, we have a big show in Oskaloosa. Oh, good Lord. No. I'll just my brain is fried. I don't know. We have a big show from our friend Austin Bayless called Bridge City Slam. They're bringing in names like The Godfather, Jacqueline. There are others that are escaping me. But no, we got some great wrestling coming up. I always love our friends at Absolute Pro Wrestling. There is actually a benefit show for a wrestling family here coming up on August 23rd that is hosted by 5 different wrestling promotions here in Iowa and here in the Midwest, I should say. That's going to be exciting. I'm going to plug details on socials. I'm planning on going to that. But as far as like our show goes, Card Subject to Change, me and Nick, we will be doing our instant reactions to Night of Champions tomorrow right after the pay-per-view. We have Christopher Anino, who is Pitbull number 3. For those of you not familiar with the Pitbulls, Gary Wolf, Pitbull number 1, has named him his new tag team partner. He is coming on with ECW original Tommy Cairo and a gentleman named Eric Stevens. They're going to be promoting a show in Florida for Veteran Pro Wrestling. That's coming up September to remember. I'm excited about that. And I'm really excited. I wish we could have had her on this month for Pride Month, but the following week we have Jana Pride coming on.
Woo, Jana! Sorry.
I'm super excited for that. We got some good shows coming up, and I'm always stoked. So check us out on Facebook, Card Subject to Change Podcast. But if you're interested, we talked about the Sandra Lee Memorial Car Show, Nick being the scissors to my steak. Go get that story on our YouTube page at CSTC Podcast, and like, share, subscribe. Appreciate you doing that. I should also plug Wrestling with Fitness, my monthly fitness accountability podcast that I share with a good friend, Zach Takis, who is the host of Shotgun Wrestling Radio, another wrestling podcast here in Iowa in the Midwest. That airs the last Wednesday of every month. So we just had our 5th episode this past Wednesday. You can catch that on Facebook, Wrestling with Fitness, YouTube at Wrestling with Fitness. You can find us there. Again, would love to have you like, share, and subscribe.
All right, CZ, thank you, brother, so much. Said we're going to be probably going to do this show next Thursday instead of Friday, because next Friday is also the 4th of July. I don't know. Maybe talk about the Lex Express next week. I know how CZ gets excited about talking about Lexi and his Expressi, especially slamming Yokozuna and not Andre the Giant. Now that right there worked for me, brother.
He did rack Andre the Giant's son. He did put the torture rack on the Giant in WCW, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that is true. That is 100% true. Well, folks, it's been great. It's great to have the original Joe Monroe Show back on the air. Hope y'all like the new setup. Very 80s style. I love it. Great. Also, I want to shout out Wrestling Society Network. If you have not, man, CZ, I don't know about you. Would you think you'd be crazy if I said the Wrestling Society Network is 100% free?
I wouldn't believe you.
Yeah. Well, you better believe it, pal, because it is 100% free. You can find it on Roku, Apple TV. I mean, we got some stuff cooking up that I can't really say out loud, but it'll be available elsewhere as well. But it's on Roku, Amazon Fire Stick, or Apple TV. You can also check us out on the website at thewrestlingsociety.com, which, again, 100% free to sign up for. It's a great website. It was built by wrestling fans for wrestling fans. Again, I want to give a big shout out to Triple Crown Wrestling. They actually got an event next Friday. I'm going to try to go to it. They'll be at Lake Fest, and I also think they got something coming up for their fair seasons. Dummy me forgot to grab it. I should have grabbed it. Don't kill me, Triple Crown Wrestling Board. And I cannot wait. They're having a very historic event coming out next Friday. So it's going to be pretty cool. I'll try to get the promotional poster next week so we can help promote that. Another big thanks to Card Subject to Change, Tel 5 Wrestling, Gonzo Wrestling Room, and the Wrestling Society Network for sponsoring the Hall of Fame show that is coming up July 12th, 2 weeks from tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, if you're in Somerset, Kentucky, and you're a Dukes of Hazzard fan, the General Lee is going to be jumping the fountain downtown. So, and may I mention, Bo Duke's going to be there as well. Yes, John Schneider. You bet your sweet puppy I'm going to take my Smallville poster and go get it signed. I bet you thought I was going to say Dukes of Hazzard, didn't you? I have that too, but I'm a Smallville fan as well. But yes, if you got anything going, Night's Cruises tomorrow, and it's the General Lee. We're going to have a lot of stuff Dukes of Hazzard. I personally did not grow up with it live, but as a kid, I watched reruns, and I actually enjoyed the Dukes of Hazzard. No matter how silly it could be, I still loved watching it. And I know a lot of folks around here in Kentucky loved it, so it's going to be a great time. Other than that, I want to thank again my wonderful wizardy co-host CZ. Thank you so much for being on here. I love having. Also, again, want to thank the Wrestling Society Network, and I want to thank you, the fans. I want to thank you all for checking up on me. I know there for here past little while we haven't really been doing shows. That's because of a tornado, and old Joe's been busy doing the Hall of Fame. But we'll be back to the regular scheduled programming. Again, next Friday, since it is the 4th of July, we will not have a show, but we will have it Thursday night, right after Professor Bear's show. So we will see you all next Thursday. And until then, if you love professional wrestling, please enjoy it, love it, spread the joy around professional wrestling. It is for everybody. I don't give a crap what anybody says. And if those trolls keep complaining, what they need to do is just shut up and enjoy professional wrestling. With that being said, Marky Mark and the Monkey Bunch, go ahead and take us.